Hello and welcome to this Wednesday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Mark Olmos. It's great to have your company. We will be having a look at the midweek meeting from Belmont Park, set to run on Wednesday the 12th of July 2017. Before we do have a look at the 8-race program, we'll have a quick look at conditions. We are expecting a few showers. It should be 20 degrees, so mild in the air, but we should be racing on a good fort with the rail out 18 metres and the cutaway in the straight. Let's get on to race number 1. It is, of course, the Get the Tab Touch maiden over 1,200 metres. Our replay horse, Shrewd Gamble.
Jack, tell him Ken hitting the others as Jupiter Calling leads into the straight. Out after it now, Shrewd Gamble. Moving up to Jupiter Calling, Shrewd Gamble, King of Hollywood, and trying to get through a night in Bangkok. They were followed then by Cool Tat, but finding Jupiter Calling, had found and kicked, had a pretty good run in the lead, and Jupiter Calling comes away. King of Hollywood runs on to photo.
A sound effort there by Shrewd Gamble. Hit the line nicely over the 1,400 metres there at Pinjarra. We also saw in that race Quest to Venus, which does like to work home. Didn't really hit the line as we expected. Started $2.80 on that occasion, so slightly disappointing. A few other runners in this race which we can take note of. Number 11, Miss Swindle, out of the Simon Milliard. Joseph Azzopardi rides from barrier 14 here, but its last couple of efforts at Northam and at Belmont have been quite smart. Expect this galloper to jump and run and certainly be one to catch, as we usually see from the Simon Miller stable. We've also got a runner in there having its second start, filly by Poet's Voice from the Brett Pope yard. Maywold, of course, Lucy Warwick rides this. The recent trial was very smart. Jumps from barrier 2, so should be in a handy position. We usually see Brett Pope's runners right up there near the speed, and after the day he had on Saturday, he'll be hoping to have a bit more luck here, and this galloper can sure turn it around. We've also got their number 3, Deep Cover, is an interesting runner. We saw it run well behind Guns of Navarone last start. Mitchell Pateman rides for Jason Pateman, but the son of War Chant certainly should be thereabouts. Of course, War Chant's been having a fantastic time of things. Of course, his son Variation winning the Belmont Aquanita Stakes on the weekend. I'm going with number 11 though, the galloper from the Simon Miller yard, Miss Swindle, from number 14 Maywold, number 7 Happy Sanday, and 9 Burning Magic. Race number 2 at Belmont Park is the Awesome Rock Plate over 1,000 metres. A very special runner making its debut here. Name's Arcadia Prince. It's a gelding by Piero, that wonderful mare Arcadia, which makes him a half-brother to the Derby winner in Arcadia Dream. Let's have a look at the recent trial.
Taken out a little bit wider is Arcadia Prince, starting to wind up for Pike Deep Out, and struggling at the back is Be My Alibi. 2:50 to go, and Democracy Rules has got a break on them, but coming through hard is a Fleeker's Girl. It's one off the fence and coming, and now Pike's winding up on the outside with Arcadia Prince all over the top. So Arcadia Prince is going to win the trial as it races up to Democracy Rules, and Arcadia Prince has won. Photo second.
A very impressive trial there by this debutant. Looks to be the real deal. A son of Piero, of course, won the Golden Slipper, the Size Produce Stakes, and of course the Champagne Stakes as a 2-year-old over east for Gay Waterhouse, and out of that wonderful mare Arcadia. Looks to be the real deal. There looks enough speed in this race for it to go back to last and run right around them in the long Belmont Straight. He looks hard to beat, Arcadia Prince. Also, a few other first starters in this race. Number 6, Infiltrated. Trevor Andrews trains here. Sean O'Donnell rides. Joseph Azzopardi trialled it recently behind Prue. Hit the line very nicely by Frost Giant out of Ladiddy, which makes it a half to Speedy Ladiddy, who also won a race as a 2-year-old. Number 8, Prue, was very good in that trial. Patrick Carberry rides here, and we also have another first starter down the bottom there, Fine Scent. Joseph Azzopardi rides for Simon Miller. Another really well-bred filly here, this time by All Too Hard, out of a mare called Patu, who also produced a Golden Slipper winner in Polar Success. Recent trial was very, very good behind Ritualistic, but I've gone with number 3 here, Arcadia Prince, to beat number 13, Fine Set, from number 6, Infiltrator, and number 11, Cool Serenity. Race number 3 on the program at Belmont is the Carbine Club of WA Handicap over the 1,000 metres. It's a 60-plus event. The replay horse is the last winner, Zynite.
Gang light coming through in the middle of Mercurial Spur. Sovereign Hall is well back in the field, and You Watching Me is getting to the outside to try and run on. Mr. Bear struggling. Hitting the front though, Zenite on the outside from Double Edge. Surely they're going to get tied. Sovereign Hall is winding up with a really good run through in the middle. It's Zenite in front. Sovereign Hall switches around it now and comes home fast, but Zenite's still in front. Sovereign Hall weakens on the run. Supposition comes late. Double Edge.
Zynite got the chocolates on that occasion, of course, led after sitting one off the fence and kicked on quite strongly in the straight for trainer Keith Frost. Randy Tan rode on that occasion. Lucy Warwick picks up the ride here, only goes up a couple of kilos, so looks to be really well suited in a race like this where there only looks to be a little bit of other speed, potentially from the likes of Verve de Vega, who comes back here second up. Trial really well at the beginning of this preparation, beating Valderie Valderat. Last start behind Carla Kimis. Didn't have much luck and probably needed that run. We've seen it's a galloper that does seem to need a bit of racing to get warm into the preparation, but Steve Parnham rides here from barrier 2. We'll need to give a bit of weight to a few other nice chances, but can certainly run a race. Number 2, Fly Tego, has been racing in much tougher company than this. Makes its way down to this Wednesday race where it gets him really well at the weights, 56.5 kilos after carrying weight behind the likes of State Solicitor, of course, 4 starts ago. Carried 54 on that occasion, so it gets into this race reasonably well, but was less than 2 lengths off State Solicitor. So if you take note of those form lines, it could be worth following. And Sovereign Hall, we saw in that replay, desperately unlucky to get the run behind Zynart. Alan Kennedy riding hard with his head down, and then horse wanted to shift in a little bit, but was coming home with a full head of steam. He can certainly play a part once again. I've got number 2 on top here though, Fly Tego. I think you'll get nice each way odds about it from number 6, Sovereign Hall, number 1, Verve de Vega, and 8, 2 for 22. Race number 4 at Belmont Park is the Carbine Club Life Members Handicap over 1,000 metres. It's a no Metro wins in the last year race. Our replay horse is number 8, Bella's Keeper, who finished 4th, but keep an eye out for the very unlucky Imperial Venus.
Random led them for home over. Scalpel on the fence, bounce down the grey belter. Haldora behind those. Imperial Venus, Bella's Keeper. Yeah, Darty's gone, an absolute shot duck, the favourite here. It dropped right out at the 200. On the inside, Cramden tackled by Scalpel. Bella's Keeper getting a rails run. Belter joins in. Belter grabbed the lead from Scalpel. Bella's Keeper, but Belter on the outside draws clear late. Belter too good. Belter first up.
Bella's Keeper hit the line very nicely there on that occasion behind Belter. Of course, this is a big step down in grade for 3-year-olds. Saturday grade down to no Metro wins in the last year. Looks to be really well suited here. Fiona Bell jumps on, takes off 3 kilos, so the galloper only now has to carry 53 kilos. A filly by Scandal Keeper. She's got a fair bit of ability. Really liked the win a couple of starts ago when beating Persona. Persona has since come out and won her maiden, so the form line seemed to be reasonably good there, and this filly looks to be a progressive type. Imperial Venus was the one in the replay, very unlucky, caught wide and didn't have any luck after running a marvellous race to start before on debut to win an all-age maiden over 1,000 metres. Now, Mature Autier jumps back aboard here from barrier 9. This horse has a really nice turn of speed, so don't be surprised to see them go back and try to run on with this gelding by Hassan Lightning. We've also got in the race there number 9, Cape Lady, very nicely bred. Joseph as a party rides for Jeff Durant and Jason Miller, filly by Charge Ford. The recent trial might not have looked that impressive to the eye when being ridden out by Joseph as a party on that occasion, but the blinkers go on for race day, which is really important note to take a look at. The blinkers were not on in that trial, so she can certainly prove massively from that trial. I've got her on top, number 9, Cape Lady, from number 2, Imperial Venus, number 8, Bella's Keeper, and the 7, Free Whisper.